What is going on, guys? In this video I will share with you the Vi build to climb in season 13, and that is basically to go Radiant Virtue. And you've probably seen this already because Vi is picked more than usual where they go this item, but there is more to it. So if you want to find that out, keep on watching, guys. So a little about myself. I'm a Vi one trick and I recently got to master using this build, so it's pretty good, to be honest. And I do only play Vi. I almost got 1,000,000 mastery points. I have a lot of time in Vi, so I know what I'm talking about this champion. So that's my resume, guys. So what I say is facts. It's facts, right? All right, let's continue. So we're gonna go into the runes, right? Because then we have that out of the way, because it's part of the build. So there are two trees, the standard one and mine. So first, we're going to talk about the standard one. You want to go Precision, Conqueror. It really helps with the early dueling in the game, especially if you can get your first hit in with your Q. You're going to have the Conqueror stacks and you're going to be doing much more damage than your opponent. And if you procs it fully already, you're also going to heal. So really good is good for dueling, and it gives you more damage. And eventually in late game, it gives healing, more damage. So it's pretty good. Triumph is really, really good. It really helps you out with those tricky situations in team fights. And if you do end up taking down enemies in team fights, you're gonna get 10% of your missing health back. This really helps you out with survivability and just in general keeping you healthy in the fight. And also helps with diving, because you are a jungler and you have to dive. It's really a must. Basically, if you can dive, you should dive. All right. For the second tree, we go attack speed. Now, this really helps with the W procs and helps with clearing the jungle, does the dragon, because if you procs more W, you're gonna do more damage. And if you procs more W, you can get your passive back and you get a shield. So that's pretty much the main thing, what helps you out. Although you're not going to build any attack speed on Vi, and the reason is because you don't really need to, because you got this mastery, the attack speed as well, the little runes right there, plus your W attack speed if you procs it. So you don't really need to build any attack speed because of this rune. But if you do have a team with a lot of CC against you, then you want to go tenacity. And the reason is this, because you might be able to still go Ionia Boots if you go this as well, because Ionia Boots gives you ability haste, 20, ability haste is really a lot, so you can spam your Q, and your ultimate is also quicker to be used again. But if they don't really have any CC, and you think you can just block it with your ultimate, then you can just go to attack speed. And for the last three, for precision, is the left one. This really helps you out with that guy who almost got away because you didn't do that much damage. But mostly I do my, when I'm in a 1v1 or just in general in fights, and I can get my combo off, and mostly it's going to be around when they're low HP, because if you do my combo, I'm going to do a lot of damage. And then then the enemy thinks like, oh, I need to get away, I need to flash, right? But because of Vi combo, you can stun lock them, but after the combo, they have some space, if you didn't kill them, to get away. And this just helps them not escaping, so you can take them down. All right, for the second, we go inspiration, or this is the standard one. I mean, you guys go this, I don't go this. It's magical footwear. It is pretty good, actually, to be honest. It gives you free boots, it gives you 300 G, so you don't have to go boots. And if you can get this very soon, before the 12 minutes, because you got a lot of takedowns with gangs and stuff, then this is pretty good. It also gives you that 10 movement speed. It's pretty nice because you slow yourself with your Q. And in the early game, it's pretty nice because that doesn't make any sense why you slow yourself, but I guess Vi gets nerfed if it didn't that slow, right? So the slow needs to be there, but whatever. Everyone has a dash, but Vi gets slowed, whatever. For the second one, it's Cosmic Insight. This really is nice for the Summoner Spell Haste, because you get Smite. When you have Smite quicker, you can clear faster, or you can get some dragons faster, or you're able to steal the dragon or baron because you have your Smite already up. And the Flash Q is also a really good thing with this, because you're gonna have your Flash up quicker, so you can do more Flash Qs. That's pretty much the main mechanic if you play Vi. It's like Flash Q. You can really catch people off guard, because you can just stand in the bush or flash over the wall and then Q them right in the face. Sorry, I think I smashed my mic right there. So you can catch them off guard, which is really good. And if you go Ionia Boots, you even get more item haste and Summoner Spell Haste. So your Smite is quicker and your Flash is up quicker. So it's pretty good. This is the runes you should go if you're not going mine, right? And the item haste is also really nice for the Radiant Virtue, because you can procs it more. That's basically it. It's really good for team fights later on if you can proc Radiant Virtue, because eventually your ultimate does have a high cooldown at the start, but eventually with the items, your ultimate has a 30-second cooldown on level 16. So it's pretty quick. Alright, we're gonna go attack speed for these and damage. And for the defensive, I recommend going health, because it basically helps out like with both and helps with your passive, and Radiant Virtue is gonna provide you with the armor and the magic resist. If you do get a full AD team, you could go armor, or if you got a full enemy or a lot of AP champions. Mostly there's not a case like only AP, but if they do, go magic resist. So now we're gonna go to my rune page right here, and that's pretty much the same on the left, same commentary on the left. And for the second, it is sorcery, and we go Transcendence, because it gives you ability haste, and also if you do get a takedown, your remaining basic abilities gets cooldown reduction. Well, it's pretty nice, because if you can spam your Q, you can be really sticky to champions or to enemies, especially everyone has a dash with Gale Force nowadays, so you can be really sticky to them. It also helps you out to get out very quickly. It basically makes you spam Q more, and the ability Ace also really helps out with your ultimate cooldown. And I do go water walking, but you think now, oh, that's useless. Yes and no. To be honest, water walking is really nice for in the early game, and you do have to get from behind most of the time with Vi, and the movement speed will let you move a little bit faster to get behind them. Also, it really helps out with early dragons and Rift Herald, because you get movement speed, and the AD is also very nice. And dueling in the water or in the river is gonna happen with dragon fights and baron fights, so this is pretty nice. And you slow yourself with your Q, and that's really annoying, so this also helps with that. And these are pretty much the same things. Alright guys, let's get into the items. Finally items. Alright, the first item you're gonna go is the Mosstomper Seedling. That's the frog. It's a green one, and if you do fully upgrade this one, you get a shield, what will help you out with 20% tenacity and slow resistance. The slow resistance also helps with your Q slow, so it's pretty good. I recommend this one. And the shield is also very nice, because you have double shields with your passive as well, so you're very shielded if you go this one. Obviously, potion, control ward. You don't want to go control wards. I was always, if I base and I got money left, control ward. I rather don't do it if I already gotten control ward up than I don't. So your first back mostly will be if you can buy the Warhammer, because it gives AD and the 10 ability haste. It was really nice for the early game. If you can't, I mostly go 2 long swords and the first boots, because I don't have magical footwear. So I go boots. Going boots also helps with the slow on your Q, because the slow on your Q is really annoying if you don't have boots. If you have boots, it's fine. So my first back will actually be Warhammer. And if I do have some money left, I go boots. So now in the first item, it's gonna be the Chempunk Chainsword. But if you cannot buy this item directly or Black Cleaver, then you want to go Ionia boots after the Warhammer because it does give 20 abilities, and then you build up the rest from your item. So the first item now, let's get into it first. So this depends on when you have your enemy healing. If they have a lot of healing, like Soraka or Vladimir or Warwick, if they just got a lot of self-heal and the enemy is also gonna go Radiant Virtue as a healing support, then Chempunk Chainsword is good. And I think it also is really good for the Mortal Shield Bow. It gives lifesteal, and eventually enemies are gonna go Blood Thirster, and just Spell Vamp also works with the popular Revan's Hydra, what everyone is building, and Blade of the Rune King, because everyone builds that item, and this Omnivamp gets removed. Next patch, I think, it's still there. So it really works. It's really good to go this first item, and the General Grievous Wounds are in fixed 40% now. It's not displaying here, but that has not been updated yet, because I think no one uses these things, or it's too hard to upgrade, I don't know. So if the team has a lot of self-healing or healing in the early game, you do want to go this item. If the enemy does have no healing, then I recommend going Black Cleaver first. Again, these item descriptions don't match up. Black Cleaver has 50 attack now and 40 health. So actually also why I go these items, because that's pretty much the core stats what Vi needs. It's attack damage, health, and ability haste. So, and that is what these items give you. They're really good to start with. And also Black Cleaver is really nice when the team has a lot of armor. And if they do have a tank top laner and a tank in the jungle, this is pretty much your first item, because they're gonna go tank first item. And if you do get Black Cleaver, you have potential to get a 50% armor reduction on them because of your W and with Black Cleaver. So you're gonna do more damage to them, and their armor is pretty much useless. So for the second item, it's gonna be Radiant Virtue. This item gives you so much survivability with Vi. It's okay that it doesn't give you any damage, but you're gonna out-damage the enemy because your survivability is way better. And it comes with ability haste, 30 armor, and 30 magic resist. Most teams consist of 80 and AP damage, so it is like a general good thing for both damage dealers, and it gives health. And the Mythic passive, when you complete a legendary item, you get 100 health. Again, this health is really good for Vi's survivability, plus it really helps out with the passive. Eventually, if you go Chempunk, Radiant Virtue, and Black Cleaver, your shield can give you 500. It's really good. So again, your survivability is really high with this one. And if you do ult with this item, you get an increased max health of 10%. This item is gonna get buffed, then it will give you 15% health. It also will increase the healing it gives you, but it also will remove the the ability haste aura for teammates, and I think it also does a little less healing for your teammates for the missing health. I think the description is really weird, and also the description from when it gets updated was also really weird. It's just saying different stuff. This item is going to be better individually for the one who's going to build it, and it is also still good for in team fights because teammates will be able to heal off of it because you ult it. And team fights are gonna happen, and even when you do gank with your ultimate, people are gonna heal, and that's always good. So this item is really overpowered. This has a 60-second cooldown. When it gets updated, it's gonna be 90 seconds cooldown. So now for the second or third item is either if you went Chainsword, then you probably want to go Black Cleaver, especially if the enemy has now built tanky items. Even the carries are going to build Death Dance because it has armor, and Zhonya's, it will put their armor a little bit down so you can kill them faster. And it's also nice for your teammates, because if you do reduce armor to them and your team deals AD damage, mostly your AD carry, they're gonna kill them quicker. So it's a really good item, and it gives you the main stats. It gives 50 AD, gives 40 health, even though it doesn't say it right now, but it does right now, because Riot got hacked. Yeah, and it gives 30 ability haste. That's really good. That's really good. So you probably want to go with these 3 items. There is a possibility. Oh wait, I changed this because I was practicing this. Wait. Let's change this up a bit. So let's go with this. This is going to be the standard build, and this final item, it's going to be where is it? Where is it? It's this one. Okay, I need to click it again. It's this. This is supposed to be your general build, but this is not it. If you go this, then that's fine, but in high elo you have to build better than this. Like going, for example, by the way, Death Dance doesn't give ability haste anymore, so that really sucks actually, because Vi benefits from ability haste, so you can be really stun locking them because your Q has such a low cooldown. But it actually, if you got Ionia Boots, Chainsword, Radiant Virtue, or Black Cleaver instead of the sword, you have enough ability haste to be fine. But if you even get Black Cleaver and Chainsword, Radiant Virtue, and Ionia Boots, you can have a lot of ability haste, and you don't really need that extra ability haste, to be honest, from Death Dance or Maul. But there are some other options I like to go. Let's talk about the tanky items. So probably if you have these 3 items, you might as well, if the enemy team doesn't have any armor and you're pretty fine, you could also just go Death Dance first, or Maw first, or even Essence Reaver is a thing, at least for me, because at this stage, Vi is gonna have mana issues, because the only mana you get back is from blue, but blue is not always up, and mana regen from the jungle, and your Q costs 90 mana, so I can do like 8 Qs. You can do more, obviously, because you get mana regen, because you're a jungler, but if you're fighting in lane, or in the enemy base, or in your own base, then you won't get any mana regen. So if you keep on spamming your abilities, you're gonna run out of mana, and that is really annoying. And Essence Reaver gives a lot of damage as well. It gives 55 attack damage, by the way. These stats are not right. Critical chance is okay. And 20 ability haste, again, is really good. And it also gives you those on-hit damage proxies with this item. What normally Divine Sunderer did with the old build, and it restores mana. So you can keep on spamming your abilities because of this item, and you do a lot of damage. Plus, if you get a crit in, you do even more damage. So I would recommend this also as an option for the 3rd item. This is also if you're kind of ahead, or the difference in who's ahead is pretty the same in the game. If you're enemy and your teammates and you have like the same advantage, then you should go this item. If there is an AD or other, and if they do have a lot of tanks, I would recommend going Black Cleaver, because you need to shred the armor to win the game. Maybe go with after. Okay, let's get back this to damage. Let's go. So there is also the Maw, and the Death Dance gives a lot of attack damage and armor as well. You already have a lot of health because you have Chainsword, Radiant Virtue, and Black Cleaver, plus the mythic passive as well, because you get 100 health plus. So you don't really need to go health that much for your 4th item. but really depends on which enemy is ahead. But I do recommend though, you know, if the enemy has a lot of AD and they're fat and they have already critical chance, I would recommend going Randuin's Omen first instead of like Death Dance, because you are the front line and you're gonna get attacked a lot, and especially if you do ult on a carry, or let's say the mid laner's fat, you're gonna get attacked when you ult an enemy. That's just the thing, and this helps you more with survivability. It gives you again health, what helps out with your passive and survivability, and you can slow enemies to close the gap, reduce incoming damage to tank, and critical strikes deal less. So, and the thing is like, then you could just go Maw for the magic resist component, and you still have a lot of AD. Guardian Angel is a option for the final item. I don't recommend to go this any earlier. I even say like throw this thing away because I think it's fucking useless. And then go Essence Reaver for the mana issues you have. And also you can go, if you do want to go armor, I would recommend this build always, like one tanky item as the fourth, and then your fourth or fifth item, and then just do the opposite. Like if you're gonna go tanky up item, then go Death Dance, and if you go like tanky AD item, go Maw after, or switch them up. Depends on the enemy actually, enemy team. Like if they're fat, if the AD is fat, then you go armor obviously first. I recommend also Radiant. Even if the APs, if they have one mid laner but he's not fat, you could also get away with going Randuin's Omen and Death Dance because it does ignore pain. So it kind of reduces the up damage as well, and you have health already from your first item, so you can compensate with that because you don't have any magic resist. Well, you do have magic resist, you have 30 magic resist from Virtue, so that actually helps you out a lot, to be honest. And you got your passive shield as well, so that also blocks damage. So if the AP mid laner is not fat on the enemy team, you can get away with Death Dance. But to deal with the AD carry who is fat, right? You have to think about that. If the enemy AD carry is fat, then you have to build accordingly to that. But eventually there is a thing like in the late game that the mid laner catches up and it does do damage. Then you could maybe just go the magic resist for that enemy. I do not recommend to go full tank or full AD, to be honest, because you need to like you have to deal damage, but you also need to survive, right? And that's what I'm trying to do right here. But if you're really fat as fuck, then then you already won the game. I think if you go these, you already won the game if you're like almost at Black Cleaver or even Essence Reaver. I think if you're really fat, then I recommend going Essence Reaver because this really helps out with like keeping the pressure on, because you still have mana and you deal more damage and you still get that ability ace which you needed, and you still are pretty tanky with Radiant Virtue. So that's pretty much the build. But a little more about the tanky items. Let's see. This is pretty much the tank items you want to go. I mean, I have Black Cleaver in there. The first item doesn't really matter here. Depends if the enemy has healing or not. You go Chainsword. If they have tanks, you go Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver gives more health, to be honest. So if you really want to go tanky, then this is your build. But it's I mean, I guess these are just tanky items. You could just maybe if you went Black Cleaver, right? This is Black Cleaver. You didn't go anti-heal, so you didn't go this item. So you can go anti-heal with Thornmail, and then you can even go Randuin's Omen, and then if you really want to go only tank, what I don't recommend is Spirit Visage then, and this, and then that's the tanky build. You know, that's pretty much the same thing. I had the underneath the thing, so whatever. But the thing is, with the Vi build, you want to go like tanky, but you also want to go damage. Let's put these tanky items back. Like, why is this so big? This screen is so weird. Wait, where's Maw? I deleted Maw. So I recommend just switch these up with these two items. If you go Death Dance, the other item should be maybe Spirit Visage, but I already talked about that. So for the attack items, there's pretty much the same. Essence Reaver is also up there. You can also do Guardian Angel, even though I don't really go this item, to be honest. This is the standard build. It's on all the websites, but, you know, they're not master, so who the fuck are they to tell me what to do? There we are. Tag items. We talked about this. Well, this is not a tag item, but it gives you the survivability you need in the game. So you can maybe go... These are just late game or your last item options. It's the Spear of Sojin. It gives attack damage, health, and ability haste. It was really good at Vi. But to be honest, mostly the game is ended there. And I think you don't really need this item, to be honest. This is an option for QSS, Quicksilver Sash. So if the enemy, if you just need that cleanse, then this is a good item. Then I recommend you go this item instead of the Maw. If you want this in your build, like you're gonna go this, then like you switch this up. But I mostly don't need this item. This is only when you have a Mordekaiser or a Malzard, and even then I don't really need it. For the rest of the items, Guardian Angel is okay, I guess. I don't really build it anymore. I think it also got nerfed. I rather just go, like, throw this in the trash can and go Essence Reaver if I have to go AD. Because it gives mana, and your Mythic doesn't have the Spell Blade, so you can just go this item. That's also a really good option. So this is kind of the build versus AD teams. It's pretty standard. Black Cleaver is good. If they got tankies, if they got self-healing, you go Chainsword first. Then you go the Boots. Then you go Radiant Virtue. If they got a D, then you probably want to go Death Dance. If they're already fat as fuck, then you go Renia's Omen first. Then go Death Dance. If you have Chainsword already built, do not go Tornmail. Then I guess you should get another armor item, or just go Guardian Angel, because it does give armor. So for AP, same here, go Chainsword or Black Cleaver first, because it depends on the enemy self-healing or tanky. Or if they're not, then just go Black Cleaver, because it gives more it gives AD more health and more ability haste. And eventually, if people do gonna build armor, then you already got a Black Cleaver ready for them. So yeah, go Magic Resist Boots, because mostly when an AP team has a lot of CC, so this also really helps. If a team has a lot of CC, you could go this item. If you didn't go like the Legend of, if you have to go Legend Tenacity always if a team has a lot of CC, because if you cannot block all CC with your ultimate. That's not possible. You can block some of them, but eventually, if people are smart, they're gonna wait until you ult, obviously. So this really helps. Also, if you got the max jungler item, you also get more tenacity, which also really helps. Not get stopped if you engage or you get caught and stuff. So it's pretty good. I cannot believe how good this build is. I seriously, when I talk about it, it's like there is nothing better right now. All right, but phase AP, well, Maw Spirit Visage, I recommend above these. I would say this is then the build, to be honest, phase AP. But mostly teams are not full AP. It's always a mishmash, a mixed. So and the Force of Nature is also a magic resist item, and the Quicksilver Stash, the club or whatever you want to call it. So these are pretty much the tanky items. Don't go other items so like what's it called? The Chem Tech speed thing. I don't know. It sucks. No one buys that. I know how to build this one. Turbo Chem Tank. I mean, I guess it's fine at Vi, but I like Spirit Visage more. You don't really need the movement speed. If you can just close the gap with your Q spam and your ult, then you don't really need movement speed. Spirit Visage is pretty better for survivability, increases healing with the Radiant Virtue. I don't really know that it even increases the maximum health buff you get, but if it does, it's even more overpowered. So yeah, these are the tanky items. Like, these are the first. Why does it switch? These are ranked highest for tanky items, to be honest. Oh no, this one. This is number 1. These are number 2. The rest is just, if you're still in the game, you just need that extra armor or health. There's also a chance if you do need more armor, then Frozen Heart is a option, but mostly Randuin's Omen is fine, and then after you go Death Dance. So it's fine. That's fine. So that's pretty much the build. A little sum up. This is the core build, to be honest. Essence Reaver is my little thing. Why does it get deleted now? I have no idea. But do I have it back somewhere? No. Anyway, okay. So this one is the third item. Why does it switch? Why does it have Guardian Angel now? Oh. I think this is bugged as fuck. Where the fuck is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, let's switch this up. Maybe something switches. Oh no. Just completely vanished. Okay, this is not good. Alright. So, this is like, if you want to go... I would recommend just always go 1. This is your build. So, go 1 tanky item for magic resist, and then 1 AD with the Death Dance. Or go Randuin's Omen, and then go Maw for the item after, or you just switch it out. Depends on what damage output you need right now or defenses you need. You kind of have to decision make that yourself in the game, because every game is different. Guardian Angel is a last option, but meh. Yeah, let's put this right there. Yes. You know, if you are a Vi main, you know she's gonna have mana issues. Or I'm the only one, I don't know. I would even sometimes go with after. Why does it switch with Guardian Angel? Anyway. I go mostly I go this build, to be honest. Or switch this up. With Spirit Visage, and this is gonna be Death Dance. Or if the AD is really fat, then I go this. So that's the build, guys. That's the build to dominate with Vi in Season 13. It's really good. It really helps me out a lot. So guys, this is the Vi build. If you do enjoy this video, I might as well just do an in-game summary of my building, because you always kind of build different accordingly to what's happening in the game, but this is just a general guide for it, like talking points, decision making about what the build is. Some items are just completely useless. The items that I showed, these are the items for Vi what are really good right now. So it definitely shows, because it got me up to Master, and it might be able to push me to Grandmaster, or hack even Challenger. Let's go. Or it might just you know, demote me to Diamond Hell again. Who knows? But it did work for me right now, and it's really good, and it's gonna get better even with the Virtue buff next patch. And the old build for Vi with Divine Sunder is really not a thing anymore because you have to go Death Dance and Maw as your third item because they did give ability haste and stuff, but they don't really do anymore, so I don't really feel like it's the build to go anymore. This one is just really good right now. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it did, then you could leave a like and subscribe. And if this does do well, I'm gonna make more Vi guides because I do play League just to play Vi because I really enjoy it. But guys, thank you for watching and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.